few more examples. Next example I am taking here. If any alkyl halide Rx plus alcoholic AgCN silver cyanide, if you take, then the products will be isocyanides. The products obtained will be isocyanides. Now I am taking an example. Methyl chloride plus alcoholic AgCN gives rise to methyl isocyanide plus AgCl. Now if you compare the previous example with this present example, that is, I will write the previous example also here. Methyl chloride plus alcoholic KCN, if you compare this example, you will find that here you got isocyanide as product, methyl isocyanide. Here you got cyanide as a product. Both are nucleophilic substitutions only, there is no doubt. Methyl chloride when makes reaction, or any alkyl halide when make reaction with silver cyanide, you will get isocyanides as the products. Any alkyl halides when they react with potassium cyanide, you will get cyanides as the products. Methyl cyanide, for example, here. Okay. Then why? What is the difference? Why do you get isocyanides in case of silver cyanide reaction? Why do you get cyanides in case of potassium cyanide reaction? The main reason is, in case of potassium cyanide, you know that potassium cyanide is polar. Potassium cyanide is a polar molecule. So it will form Cn minus ions in the solution. Okay, it will form Cn minus ions in the solution. So the cyanide ion, the carbon which is carrying the negative charge, it would do nucleophilic substitution of chloride ion. Whereas in case of silver cyanide is a covalent compound, covalent in nature. Okay, covalent in nature. So what happens? It readily will not give cyanide ions in the solution. So what is the next possibility is, the lone pair that is present on the nitrogen atom will initiate the nucleophilic reaction. That is, here nitrogen's lone pair is replacing the Cl minus ion. So due to the covalent nature of silver cyanide, nitrogen initiate the reaction with its lone pair. So you will get a nitrogen atom attached to the carbon. You will get nitrogen atom attached to the carbon. Whereas in KCN, cyanide ion, carbon carries the negative charge, which is attacking on the methyl group. Okay. Whereas in case of silver cyanide, lone pair present on the nitrogen is attacking on the methyl group. So that's why here you will get isocyanide as a major product. Whereas in case of KCN, you will get cyanides as the major product. Okay. Next, few more examples. Alkyl halides on reaction with silver nitrite. produces nitroalkanes. Produces nitroalkanes. Example, CH3Cl plus AgNO2 gives rise to CH3NO2 plus AgCl. This is one substitution reaction. Similarly, one more example let us take. Rx plus, now the reaction here now we are considering is potassium nitrite. Rx plus potassium nitrite gives rise to RONO, alkyl nitrites are produced. Here nitroalkanes, the attachment is through nitrogen. Here alkyl nitrites are produced. Okay, now again this is similar to the silver cyanide reaction and potassium cyanide reaction. Now why I am getting here nitroalkanes as a major product in case of if you use silver nitrite, and why are you getting nitrites as a major product if you are using potassium nitrite as a reagent? Again the same reason here, AgNO2 is covalent molecule, is covalent in nature. So the reaction is initiated by lone pair present on the nitrogen atom. Whereas in case of potassium nitrite, it is polar molecule. That means it will dissociate into K plus ions and NO2 minus ions. Now if you observe the structure of NO2 minus ion, oxygen atom carries the negative charge on the nitrite ion. So that's why here the nucleophilic reaction is initiated by the negatively charged oxygen. That's why here the attachment is through oxygen atom. Here the attachment is through nitrogen atom. So why I am getting nitroalkanes with silver nitrite and alkyl nitrites with potassium nitrite? You understood the reason? The reason is similar to that of silver cyanide, potassium cyanide explanation. That is, silver nitrite is covalent. So the reaction is initiated by nitrogen's lone pair. So the nitrogen atom gets attached. So you will get nitroalkanes. Potassium nitrite is polar in nature. That means it dissociates to nitrite ions. Nitrite ion, oxygen carries the negative charge. This oxygen with negative charge is initiating the nucleophilic reaction. So you get alkyl nitrites as a major product. Example, methyl chloride when reacts with KNO2. What is the product you will get? CH3ONO plus KCl. So this is how the reaction with silver nitrite and potassium nitrite takes place. See some more reactions, nucleophilic substitution reactions. That is, alkyl halides on reaction with sodium hydrosulfide, okay, gives rise to thiols. This is thioalcohols, or it is simply also called as thiols. Okay. So example you can see methyl chloride plus NaSH gives rise to methyl thioalcohol plus NaCl. Next reaction you will see reaction with the sodium alkoxides. Okay, this is sodium alkoxides. Alkyl halides when react with sodium alkoxides. Okay, produces ether. Produces ether. Basically, this reaction is having name. It is one of the preparation methods for ethers. This reaction name is Williamson synthesis. Williamson's synthesis reaction. So one example we'll read here: methyl chloride plus sodium ethanoxide. Methyl chloride plus sodium ethanoxide gives rise to methyl ether. Methyl ether plus NaCl. So this is reaction with the sodium alkoxide. Next, one last example or one last reaction. We'll stop here. All the reactions of alkyl halides, nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halides. Alkyl halide, when reacts with silver carboxylates, gives rise to RCOO. Let us take this is R dash, COO R dash plus AgX. That is, what is this molecule? This molecule is ester. So this RCOO minus group substitutes X minus group. Example, methyl chloride on reacts with CH3COOAg. Okay, silver salt, ethanoic acid, silver salt of ethanoic acid, gives rise to CH3COOCH3. Okay, plus AgCl. So this is ester, methyl, that is methyl ethanoate. This is the ester which is obtained in this reaction. So these are the reactions, some examples we have studied for nucleophilic reactions. Now we will continue with the types of nucleophilic substitution reactions. Actually, we have seen that alkyl halides undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions, right? In that, there are two types, or you can say two mechanisms in that. One is called as SN1 mechanism and another one is called as SN2 mechanism. Now what is SN1 and what is SN2? SN1 means unimolecular. SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions. SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions. So in nucleophilic substitution there are two types. Based on the mechanism, you can say SN1 and SN2. S stands for substitution, N stands for nucleophilic. 1 stands for unimolecular. Similarly here, S stands for substitution, N stands for nucleophilic, 2 stands for bimolecular. So what is SN1? SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now let us see in detail what is this mechanism, how does it takes place, which type of molecules will undergo SN1 mechanism and which type of molecules will undergo SN2 mechanism. Now let us start with I would like to start with the SN2 mechanism. Now in SN2 mechanism, what will happen? It is a bimolecular mechanism, and it follows second order kinetics. Means equal to chemical kinetics. You know that there are orders of reaction, zeroth order reaction, first order reaction, second order reaction, like that. SN2 follows which kinetics? Second order kinetics. It is a second order kinetic reaction. So why I am saying that here it is a second order reaction? Because here the rate of the reaction in SN2 depends upon two molecules. The rate depends on two molecules. What are those two molecules? Means it depends on the concentration of alkyl halides as well as the concentration of the nucleophile or base. That's why we are saying it is second order kinetics. It is following second order kinetics. One example I'd like to take, that is methyl chloride on reaction with any nucleophile, let us take any base OH minus ion, gives rise to methyl alcohol plus Cl minus. This is following SN2 mechanism, and what will happen in this is it is a single step reaction. It is a single step reaction, okay, with a which involves transition state, means I am writing the compound here elaboratedly in Wedge formula, that is I will write Cl like this with 3 hydrogen atoms. In this way. So this is these two, let us assume they are in plane, same plane. Dotted line means it is away from the observer. Thick line means it is towards the observer. So what is happening in this case is the nucleophile approaches from the back side. Yes, sir. Now what happens? The approaching of the OH minus ion or any nucleophile, it cannot approach directly towards the chlorine, because you know that already this is partially negative charge. Carbon carries partial positive charge. So this direct approach is prohibited. OH minus cannot directly come towards the chlorine, because negative repulsion will take place. So what happens? This OH minus will attack on this carbon from back side or from the opposite side of the chlorine. In this, what is happening? A transition state is formed. That is, a new bond is formed with OH minus ion, and the existing bond between the chlorine and carbon gets cleaved. So that I am representing in transition state. That is, carbon atom with 3 hydrogen atoms as it is, and one dotted bond I am writing with OH molecule. One more dotted bond I am writing with Cl. So this is called as a transition state. This is called transition state. Transition state, where new bond is formed with a new nucleophile OH minus ion, and old bond, already existing bond, is cleaved with the Cl. That is, CCl bond is cleaving. So it is like transition state that is formed. Once the transition state, it is unstable. Transition state, as you know, is unstable state. Immediately that molecule, what is happening? The bond between C and O becomes stronger, and the Cl is eliminated. So you get a compound. I'll draw it above. I'll draw this above. So if this one, if I continue like this, Cl is eliminated. So I'll get the compound like this. OH this side I will get, right? OH is this side, and the carbon is with one hydrogen atom and 2 more hydrogen atoms. These hydrogen atoms will remain in the same state. That is, one hydrogen is with dotted away from the observer, and one hydrogen is towards the observer. Okay. So what do you find in this case is, here the chlorine atom was present. Initially the chlorine atom was present like right side. Okay. Now the OH atom is appeared to the left side. It is attached to the left side. Meaning is what? If this is an optical isomer, if this is in one type of configuration, then exactly the reverse of configuration you will get after the reaction. Okay. So this type of, if this is like, for example, assume this is a D isomer, you will get here L isomer, because configuration changed. The arrangement of atoms gets changed. If it is L isomer, you will get D isomer there. This particular type of reversing of the configuration or the arrangement of the atoms is called inversion. So inversion of configuration takes place. Inversion of configuration of this alkyl halides takes place in SN2 mechanism. In SN2 mechanism. Okay. Okay. Now SN2 mechanism, we have seen one example. That is, if for example the carbon atoms are arranged in this way, one hydrogen front and back. Just now we have seen the example. If it is like this, I wanted to put this in only one line, so I am writing again. This one, attacking of OH minus takes place. So what will happen here? OH approaching from back side. So you get a transition state OH here, carbon with hydrogen and chlorine atom, remaining 2 hydrogens in this way. So I just said you that the chlorine is eliminated or the chlorine is lost. So I am writing here minus Cl minus, and the molecule now it looks like this: OH, CH, one hydrogen with the dotted line, one with the present. Okay. So this is also called as Walden inversion, or inversion of configuration takes place. It is also called as Walden inversion. Now, SN2 reaction mechanism is mostly tend to takes place in polar aprotic solvents. Now, what is a polar aprotic solvent means? Example, you can take DMSO or DMF, dimethyl formamide, or acetone. These are some solvents. Okay, basically SN2 takes place in such type of polar aprotic solvents. That is one of the conditions. Similarly, SN2 is favorable with strong nucleophiles. Whenever strong nucleophiles are present, then SN2 is favorable. Example, cyanide ion, OH minus ion, etc. So in strong nucleophiles, SN2 mechanism is predominant. Okay. Now which type of alkyl halides will undergo SN2 mechanism, let us say, mostly, or what is the reactivity order? Now in SN2 mechanism, the reactivity order is methyl halides are more reactive. Methyl halides are more reactive than primary alkyl halides, than secondary alkyl halides, than tertiary alkyl halides. This is the order of reactivity of the alkyl halides in SN2 mechanism. Okay. Now we'll start with the unimolecular. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, that is SN1. Let us start SN1 now. SN2 is completed. Now SN1. Now unimolecular substitution reaction, it follows first order kinetics. First order kinetics. That is, here the rate of this reaction depends on only alkyl halides. Only alkyl halide, not the nucleophile. Now, one general example if you take, this mechanism occurs, first of all, the mechanism of this one occurs in two steps. what are the steps how it is occurring means, any general example I would like to take here, like trying with tertiary butyl bromide. Let us take tertiary butyl bromide. This molecule, in presence of some base, okay, some other or else any common nucleophile, let us take any nucleophile, gives rise to CH3 taken thrice CNU plus Br minus. Now this is one example I have taken, and this reaction takes place in two steps. Okay, how it is taking place in two steps is, first step is from the tertiary butyl bromide. First what will happen means, elimination of halogen takes place. It can be removed with, for example, if I take KOH here, let us assume it is KOH, nucleophile if I take, then what will happen, the K plus can take Br minus, or with KOH I am writing. What is happening here, I will write CH3 plus KBr I. First step is a cation is formed, carbocation. In the second step, nucleophile attacks on this carbocation. So this is what the specialty of SN1. It takes place in two steps. In the step one, first nucleophile is eliminated. That is Br minus is eliminated. Then carbocation will form. And in the step 2, the incoming nucleophile or the new nucleophile attacks on the carbocation. Now you see, here is the carbocation. As you know, carbocation means the carbon or the molecule will be in trigonal planar. Okay, because it is sp2 hybridization, trigonal planar. So the OH minus, the nucleophile, can attack. There are two ways of approaches here. It can attack from any side of the plane, because it is trigonal planar carbocation. So that means here the possibilities are two. You can get a OH attached to either left side or right side, left-handed or right-handed phenomenon you can consider. So the OH can attack like this, or you can also consider OH attacked in this way, either left side or right side, no issue. Okay, that means now what, in the previous case we have seen that nucleophile attacked only from back side in methyl chloride example. Now in this example, OH can attack from either sides because it is planar molecule, trigonal planar. So you get here two types of compounds. If you start with a D isomer, also you will get a L and D isomer, two isomers you will get. If you start with the L isomer, then also you will get a L and D isomers in this reaction. That means what? Here you are getting equimolar mixture, means two types of isomers, okay, stereoisomers in equal ratio. So that's why we will say in SN1 mechanism, racemization takes place, or racemic mixture is obtained in SN1 mechanism. And the reactivity order of alkyl halides is, this mechanism proceeds via carbocation formation, right? Carbocation is formed. So whichever molecule forms stable carbocation, that will readily undergo SN1 mechanism. So that means I can say tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive towards SN1 than secondary alkyl halides, than primary alkyl halides, than methyl halides, that is reactivity order of the halides. And this SN1 mechanism is mostly favorable in polar protic solvents. Okay, it takes place mostly, or it requires mostly polar protic solvents. Okay, so what are polar protic solvents? Basically water, okay, H2O, or alcohol. Examples: alcohol, it can take. So in this SN1 mechanism, racemic mixture is formed. Racemic mixture means what is racemic mixture? Means you will get 50% of one isomer, one stereoisomer, and 50% of the other stereoisomer. That's why it is called racemic mixture, or it is called racemization takes place. Racemic mixture is formed in this reaction. And this mechanism, SN1 mechanism, is mostly favorable in polar, it takes place in polar protic solvents. Polar protic solvents. Now polar protic solvents are nothing but water, alcohol, etc. And mostly SN1 mechanism takes place with in the presence of weak nucleophiles. In presence of weak nucleophiles, okay, like water. Weak nucleophile, one example is water or ethanol or etc. Okay, so this is about SN1 mechanism.